Let's take a few moments to play with some of the new HTML tags we've learned about. Here I am in Visual Studio Code and I have a blank page. I'll just add a title, exploring new tags. I'll refresh, and there you go. And I think the first HTML element or tags that we'll explore is the short quotation. And that's represented with the Q tag. So in this instance, I can put in my Q tag and then put and say something like, "To err is human," and that was by Alexander Pope. Refresh my web page and you can see how that's represented once I render my page. This short quotation is actually shown in quotation marks. When we have a longer quote, we typically use the block quote element, and I'll show you that here. I'll just create a new paragraph and then maybe set some context. And then I'll add a block quote. And the actual quote itself. And now if I save that and refresh the browser, you can see what the block quote actually does. It indents the larger quote off from the rest of the page and it stands out more. Another tag for us to try is the HR tag. HR used to stand for horizontal rule, but in HTML5 these tags are used to represent a thematic break in the content. So let's see what that looks like. Inside my paragraph here, I can add a HR tag, and they're self-closing, meaning there's no end tag. If I save this tag and refresh, you can see that it generates a gray line or a horizontal line across the page. And sometimes people use these around block quotes to give them more emphasis. So I could, for example, remove that one and I could put it in front of this block quote and maybe another one just after the block quote. And when I save that and refresh my page, now my quote has a lot more emphasis on the page. So that's a nice piece of styling. Let's look at one more tag that we've learned about, and this is the pre tag or the pre-formatted text tag. So if I add that to my content, to my code here, and I say pre, and then if I insert some content, some text, here you can see that I have text laid out in a very specific way between these tags, and what I'm asking the browser to do is to leave well enough alone, to leave the text exactly as I have it formatted, including the line breaks, the white spacing, and so on, and the browser will render that in a particular way. So I'll save my file, and when I refresh, you can see that it's kind of kept it exactly as I've shown it in my HTML code, and it's also given it a different font. And sometimes you'll see this being used with other elements, such as when you want to show programming code in a web page, you'll see this being used in addition to the code element in order to produce that look and feel. So that's it. That's a quick overview of some of the new tags that we've learned about.